Hello, shalom, welcome. Welcome to day 18 of the Daily Bread. We'll be in Genesis 25, Joshua 23, Psalms 23 and 24, Proverbs 18, Matthew 18. We'll be continuing the book of Scriptures, 2009 version. Genesis 25 on page 24. And Abraham took another wife, whose name was Keturah, and she bore him Zemram and Jokjan, Midan, Midyan, Yishbag, and Shua, and Yuzban brought forth Sheba and Dinan, and the sons of Dinan were Ashim and Leshima and Lemuel, and the sons of Midad were Ephah and Epher and Hanok and Abadai and Elodai. All these were the children of Keturah. But to the sons of the concubines whom Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts while he was still living, and sent them away from his son Isaac eastward to the land of the east. And these were all the years of Abraham's life, which he lived 175 years. And Abraham breathed his last and died a good old age, aged, satisfied, and was gathered to his people. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the field of Ephron son of Sohar the Hittite, the field which Abraham purchased from the sons of Heth. There Abraham was buried with Sarah his wife. And it came to be after the death of Abraham that Elohim blessed his son Isaac. And Isaac dwelt in Beer-lahai-roi. And this is the genealogy of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar, the Mistrite female servant, bore to Abraham. And these were the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nahoi, then Kedar, and Abel, and Mizbam, and Misham, and Dunham, and Mahas, Hador, Timah, Yetor, Naphish, and Kedet. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names, by their towns and their settlements, 12 chiefs according to their tribes. And these were the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. And they dwelt from Hawaii as far as Shur, which is in the east of Mistrim, as you go toward Ashur. He settled before all his brothers, and this is the genealogy of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham brought forth Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, a wife, the daughter of Bethuel Ammiel of Padanaram, the sister of Laban the Amorite. And Isaac prayed to Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh answered his prayer, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And within her the children struggled together. And she said, "If it is right, why am I this way?" So she went to ask Yahweh. And Yahweh said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples shall be separated from your body. And one people shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. And when the days are filled for her to give birth, and see, twins were in her womb. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, so that they called his name Esau. And afterwards his brother came out, with his hand holding on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them, and the sons grew up. And Esau became a man knowing how to hunt, a man of the field, while Jacob was a complete man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his wild game, but Rebekah loved Jacob, or Jacob. And Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. And Esau said to Jacob, "Please feed me with the same red stew, for I am weary." This is why his name is called Edom. But Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright today." And Esau said, "Look, I'm going to die, so why should I have a birthright?" Then Jacob said, "Swear to me today." And he swore to him, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and a stew of lentils, and he ate and drank and rose up and left. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Joshua 23, page 250. And it came to be a long time after that Yahweh had given rest to Israel from all their enemies around about. Then Joshua was old, advanced in years, and Joshua called out for all Israel, and all the elders, and all the heads, and their judges, and for the officers, and said to them, "I am old, advanced in years, and you have seen all that Yahweh your Elohim had done to all the nations because of you. For Yahweh your Elohim is he who is fighting for you." So you had divided to you by lot these nations that remain, to be an inheritance for your tribes from the Jordan, with all the nations I have cut off. As far as the great sea toward the setting of the sun. And Yahweh your Elohim thrust them out before you, and shall drive them out from before you, and shall possess their land, as Yahweh your Elohim has promised you. And you shall be very strong to guard and to do all that is written in the book of the Torah of Moshe, so as not to turn aside from it left or right, so as not to go in among these nations, these who remain among you, and make no mention of the name of their mighty ones, nor swear by them, nor serve them, nor bow down to them, but cling to Yahweh your Elohim, as you have done to this day. For Yahweh has driven out from before you great and strong nations. As for you, no one has stood against you to this day. One man of you put 1,000 to flight. For Yahweh your Elohim is he who is fighting for you, and he has promised you. And you shall diligently guard yourselves to love Yahweh your Elohim. But if you do turn back at all and cling to the remnant of these nations, these that remain among you, and intermarry with them, and go in with them, and they to you, know for certain that Yahweh your Elohim shall no longer drive these nations out from before you, and they shall be snares and traps to you, and a whip on your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from the good land which Yahweh your Elohim has given you. And see, this day I'm going the way of all the earth. And you know in all your hearts and in all your beings that not one word has failed of all the good words which Yahweh your Elohim spoke concerning you. All of it has come to you, and not one word of them has failed. And it shall be that every good word has come upon you, which Yahweh your Elohim promised. So Yahweh does bring you up upon evil word, until he has destroyed you from the good land which Yahweh your Elohim has given you. When you transgress the covenant of Yahweh your Elohim, which he commanded you, and shall go and serve other mighty ones about them, and the displeasure of Yahweh shall burn against you, and you shall perish quickly from the good land which he has given you. Psalms 23 and 24 on page 658. Psalms 23, the most famous psalm. Yahweh is my shepherd, I do not lack. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He turns back my beam. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. When I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You spread before me a table in the face of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup runs over. Only goodness and loving commitment follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Yahweh to the length of days. Psalms 24. The earth belongs to Yahweh and all that fills it, the world and all those who dwell in it. For he has founded it upon the seas, and upon the waters he does establish it. He does go up from the mountain of Yahweh. Who does go up from the mountain of Yahweh? Yahweh. Who does stand in his set-apart place? He who has innocent hands and a clean heart, who did not bring his life to naught, and did not swear deceitfully. He receives a blessing from Yahweh, the righteous from the Elohim of his deliverance. This is the generation of those who seek him. Jacob, who seeks your face, Salah? Lift up your head, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and let the sovereign of the esteem come in. Who is the sovereign of esteem? Yahweh strong and mighty, Yahweh mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Even lift up, you everlasting doors, and let the sovereign of esteem come in. Who is the sovereign of esteem? Yahweh of hosts. He is the sovereign of esteem, Shalah. Proverbs 18, found on page 745. The separatist seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound wisdom. A fool does not delight in understanding, but in uncovering his own heart. When the wrong one comes, scorn comes too, and with shame comes reproach. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. The fountain of wisdom is an overflowing stream. It is not good to show partiality to the wrong, or to turn aside the righteous in right ruling. A fool's lips enters into strife, and his mouth calls for blows. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are the snare of his life. The words of a slanderer are like delicacies, and they go down into the inner parts of the heart. Also, he who is slack in his work is a brother of a master destroyer. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his own imagination. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before his steam is humility. He who answers a matter before he hears it It is folly and shame to him. The spirit of a man sustains him in sickness. But who does bear a strong spirit? The heart of the understanding one gets knowledge, and the heart of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him, and brings him before great men. The first to state his own case seems right, until another comes and examines him. The lot settles disputes, and separate between the mighty. A brother transgressed against is a strong city, and contentions are like the bars of the citadel. A man's stomach is satisfied with the fruit of his mouth. He is satisfied with the increase of his lips. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those loving it eat its fruit. He who has found the wife has found good, and receives favor from Yahweh. The poor speaks beseechingly, but the rich answers fiercely. A man of many friends has come to ruin, but there is a loving one who sticks closer than a brother. Matthew 18. At that time the taught ones came to Yeshua, saying, "Who then is the greatest in the reign of the heavens?" And Yeshua called a little child to him, set in our midst, and said, "Truly, I say to you, unless you turn and become as little children, you shall by no means enter into the reign of the heavens. Whoever then humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the reign of the heavens. And whoever receives one little child like this in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it is better for him that a millstone be hung around his neck, and that he be drowned in the deep depth of the sea. Woe to the world because of stumbling blocks, for it is necessary that stumbling blocks come, but woe to that man by whom the stumbling blocks come. If your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away from you. It is better for you to enter into life lame or crippled rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be thrown into everlasting fire. Revelations. And if your eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. It is better for you to enter into life with 1 eye rather than having 2 eyes, to be thrown into the fire of Gehenna. See that you do not despise one of these little ones. For I say to you that in the heavens their messengers always see the face of my Father who is in the heavens. For the Son of Adam has come to save what was lost. What do you think? If a man has 100 sheep, and one of them goes astray, would he not leave the 99 on the mountains, going to seek the one who was straying? And if he should find it, truly I say to you, he rejoices more over that sheep than over the 99 that did not go astray. Thus it is not the desire of your Father who is in the heavens that one of these little ones should be lost. But if your brother sins against you, go and convict him between you and him alone. If he hears you, you have gained your brother. But if he does not hear, take with you 1 or 2, that by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word might be established. And if he refuses to hear them, say it to the assembly. And if he refuses even to hear the assembly, let him be to you like the nations and tax collector. Truly I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall be having been bound in the heaven, and whatever you have loosened on earth shall be having been loosened in the heavens. Again I say to you, that if two of you agree on earth concerning any matter that they ask, it shall be done for them by my Father in the heavens. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in their midst. Then Kepha, Peter, came to him and said, Master, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? Yeshua said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but I say up to you 70 times 7. Because of this, the reign of the heavens is like a certain man, a sovereign, who wished to settle accounts with his servants. And when he had begun to settle, one was brought to him who owed him 10,000 talents. But as he was unable to pay, his master commanded that he be sold, with his wife and children and all he had, and payment to be made. Then the servant fell down before him, saying, Master, have patience with me, and I shall pay you all. And the master of the servant was moved with compassion, released him, and forgave him the debt. And that servant went out and found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. And he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me what you owe. Then this fellow servant fell down on his feet and begged him, saying, Have patience with me, I shall pay you all. But he would not, and went and threw him in prison till he should pay the debt. And when his fellow servants saw that what he had done, they were deeply grieved, and came and reported to their master all that taken place. Then his master called him and said to him, Wicked servant, I forgave you of all that debt, seeing you begged me. Should you also have had compassion on your fellow servant, and as I also had on compassion for you? And his master was wroth, and delivered him to the torturers until he should pay all that he was due him. So also my heavenly Father shall do to you, if each of you from his heart does not forgive his brother's trespasses. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible and talk to the Father.